Welcome back to my channel. My name is Clavia and I'm a subtitler and translator. In today's video, I won't be alone. In fact, I decided to create a series of interviews with content creators where we'll talk about life as a freelancer, YouTube, subtitling, and much more. Welcome to my Creative Talk, the series. Today's guest is a Bali-based content creator and social media manager. Please say hello to Sara, aka Joyous Shapes. Ciao!
Ciao! Hi everyone!
So we're both native Italian speakers, but for the sake of this video, we're gonna talk in English. So Sara, can you tell us something about yourself?
Sure. Hi everyone, my name is Sara. I am 29 years old and I come from Switzerland, the Italian speaking side of Switzerland. And a few years ago, I was very bored about my life, so I decided to quit my job. It's very cliche, but yeah, I did it. And I started to travel around Southeast Asia. And I fell in love with content creation and social media. So right now I just focus my passion on photography, content creation, and a social media manager.
How long have you been working as a content creator and where are you based now?
So I have been doing content creation since about 5 years, but I started to properly work as content creator in the past couple of years, properly 1 year ago. And right now I am based in Bali.
Alright, so why did you choose Bali?
Well, there are two reasons. So the first reason is that when I was backpacking a couple of years ago, I finished my travel in Indonesia, and then because of family situation, I flew back home. But I decided that if I will ever go back to Asia, the first place I will go would be in Bali. So this is one of the reasons. And the second reason is because Bali is very hyped for digital nomads, and I thought that it was the best place for me to properly start to get surrounded by like-minded people that work as digital nomads and be inspired by them.
You posted multiple videos talking about the pros and cons of living in Bali, so would you recommend it and why?
Well, that's the main reason, and I think the main important reason that people should come to Bali is first of all because there is great weather. If you like summertime and you don't like winter season, well, Bali basically is always summer. The second reason, there is a lot of great food option and is also very cheap. So you can eat a lot without spending too much money if you want. And the third and most important is the network opportunity because it's very easy to find people that work in the online world on not only as content creator but a lot of different other businesses. If you want to be inspired and start your own business but you still don't know how, this is a great place to get inspired by people and start it out.
I really think that Bali is a great place to be surrounded by other creators, and it's kind of like an inspiring environment to create. And but yeah, you also mentioned in a recent video that sometimes people are not always supportive and kind of judge you. And we were saying this before the interview, but like for example, having lots of followers sometimes matters, and so maybe there are some bigger creators who might judge you for having less followers.
That's a good point. So I I came up with that part in my video not because everyone is like this, but because I have a specific situation that really kind of hurt me, let's say, and I would have never expect from someone that I admire. So I think that's, of course, again, not everyone is like this, but Bali is very, very saturated. And there are sometimes jealousy about the type of content that you may create. And in my case, I end up kind of being bullied on my own social media by a bigger creator and his friends because we do kind of similar content.
Yeah, and also it's not like you're copying their content. I mean, if you're all living in Bali, it can happen to post similar stuff and make videos about the same topics, but that doesn't mean that you're copying them or that you're kind of stealing their followers.
I am a small channel, so I don't know. Like I say that if I will have, I don't know, let's say 1 million subscriber, I think that I will help smaller creator, but at the same time, I'm not there yet, so I don't really know what I will do. But collaboration and help each other out doesn't matter really the number. It's so good. Again, as you said, to get inspired by other and help each other. Because for instance, if you have never vlogged before, it's hard to take your camera, go out in the street and start talking in front of your camera with all the people around you. But if you go with someone else, it's much more easier. You will laugh much more and you will get comfortable faster.
Yeah, and that's really something that I love about your channel. We can see you going around making trips and collaborating with other people, help each other out, and even in your intro, like you're with some other people in a pool and all. So yeah, I really like your mindset. I really like the fact that you don't mind sharing stuff with other and help them. So yeah, I really love that.
Oh, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
So lots of people are scared of leaving the 9 to 5 job. Um, what sort of advice would you give to people who want to try and move towards the content creation world?
So there are advice that I have, and I also have to say that I haven't followed my own advice when I started out. So personally, what I did was literally quitting my job from one day to the other without have no idea about what I wanted to do, without having a solid plan, nothing at all. Which for me through the years worked out, but because I was in a mindset that I was like, fuck off, I don't care about anything, I will just do it. But the advice I would give to my younger self and to every other person that would like to start this type of journey is, instead of quitting your job, think about creating a solid plan, also a solid plan to save some money and stick to that plan no matter what. You want to be a content creator, you want to be a digital nomad. Okay, which are the steps that you have to follow in order to reach it? Stick to that plan. And then, in the case you want to be a content creator, something that changed the game for me was differentiate between being a content creator and being an influencer. An influencer is someone that create content and promote them, but a content creator is someone that create content not necessarily to promote um, another business, but create can also create content for travel brands. For instance, in my case, I am a freelancer and I work with some travel company. They send me around to create photo and video for them, but I don't have to promote anything on my social media. So my work is not based on social media. So for me, it was very important to differentiate this because influencer need followers, content creator needs skill. And then, of course, you can do both if you want, but I think it's a concept to understand.
Yeah, I think that's a very important thing that you point out because some people might be afraid of doing this kind of job because they think they need lots of followers and posting stories and pictures of themselves all the time. So maybe they're also shy, but that's not true. Like, you don't have to do that, and it's nice to let them know. So, yeah, sometimes it can help to have more followers, but it's not essential to get jobs. Also, maybe you could find like a part-time job. That's what I'm doing right now, so you still have some money, but you can also work on your own stuff and create content. Yeah, you can slowly then shift to the freelancing world, and I think that's a very nice advice. Yeah, you don't have to quit your job to become a content creator. I mean, of course, you did it, but
Yeah, if you can just stick to a plan and don't quit immediately.
Uh, so moving to your YouTube channel, what kind of content do you post, and who is your channel destined to?
So I like to post in general, post about the travel and the digital nomad and nomadic lifestyle. And I decided to choose this type of content because first of all, I love traveling and I love the digital nomad lifestyle. But it's basically meant for people that want to travel the world and make money while traveling.
So, as you said, you're from Switzerland, the Italian part, so Canton Ticino. So, your native language is Italian. Did you have any problem at first because of the language barrier, or were you maybe shy?
So, when I started, I was more shy to talk in front of the camera than to talk another language because I was pretty lucky that when I started my YouTube channel, I already had a high level of English. I will recommend to people to start as soon as they can with their YouTube channel, which is in their main language or in another language, even if they don't speak it that well. Because what I realized is that even though you can like I can speak English, but you can definitely still hear a big Italian accent when I speak, and people love it. I know that it's not perfect, but people appreciate when I have an accent, and I think this is like a very distinctive sign of mine. If you don't speak the main language, but you want to start a channel in another language, just try it out, and people will laugh it, but with you and not at you.
Yeah, that's very true. I honestly had this problem when I started the channel because I work with languages, so they matter to me, and I was afraid that maybe people would judge me for my accent and all. But then I realized that it's all in my mind, and people actually love it. People in general appreciate the fact that you make an effort, and yeah, for example, like even English people, native English people from England or America, they often just speak English, so they appreciate the effort you make to speak their language, and they actually love it. And speaking of this, does Ryan know something about Italian? No, right?
Well, he wants to learn. Sometime I teach him some word, but he always said like bad words, so I just stopped it. That's normal. He has to anyway. He has to. He will learn some Italian for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's move to the subtitling part, so my part of the job. We've known each other for like a couple of months, and you contacted me because you wanted to add subtitles, English and Italian subtitles, to your channel. And I was really surprised because you have a smaller channel, and but you still decided to invest in this kind of service. And most of the times, even bigger creators, much bigger creators, decide to refuse this kind of service. They don't want to pay and they think it's useless. So, why did you decide to do that?
So for me, there are two reasons. One is the fact that my friend and family back home, not all of them speak English, and I still want to share this part of my life with them. Plus, again, people in my region and also in Italy that would like to start this type of journey, but they don't know how. I really want to try to like give back to my own country, and at the same time, I did it also in English because, like, for instance, like if you're seated on the train and you're watching a YouTube video, it's very possible that around you it's very noisy, and if you have subtitles it's much more easier to follow, and this doesn't happen only on YouTube but as well also on Instagram, on TikTok. I notice that more and more often, um, every piece of content, long form or short form, has subtitles because it's a step forward towards people to understand you better, and all you want on your content is that people get you. And like the next step after hearing is actually seeing and being able to read what the person is saying. It's a great advantage In fact, in my case, I see the retention rate of my video rising, and there are more Italian subscribers as well because they finally can understand. And spoiler for you, I will probably ask you to do them also in other languages.
Yay!
So yeah, do subtitles. You will really change your life.
Thank you. Um, Yeah, I also realized this. It's getting more popular. It's used in every kind of platform, and I'm really glad about this. Besides, another thing that I always talk about is that it's useful for deaf people. And I actually did a challenge on my last video to watch a video without the sound and subtitles to kind of understand how challenging it could be for them. So yeah, I really think that subtitles are useful for them, but also, as you were saying, for foreign people or people who are watching a video in a noisy environment, so they kind of need a form of support. And I'm really glad that you see that. Yeah.
I've never really thought about deaf people, but I think that would be also a great way, as you said, like to bring more inclusiveness. And it's something that actually I've never thought. So you're very, very right. Everyone deserves to watch social media, or I mean, being able to understand what other people are saying, and subtitle in this case helps so much. Another things that I noticed that I never thought in my whole life to watch a video in the original language with subtitles. And and I realized it when like a couple of years ago when everyone except the Italian people were like, yeah, but how can you watch as adapt video? And I was like, how can you watch a a video or a movie in the original language with just subtitles? And to me that was crazy, but I don't know who you send the questionnaire that you did, but maybe you received less positive answer if those people were mainly Italian.
Yeah, actually, I made two different questionnaires, and yeah, it's true. Lots of people, the Italian people, don't use subtitles because they watch everything in Italian, and it's so funny that you mentioned that because I had this mindset too some years ago, and I watched everything in Italian, and yeah, and then at some point I was watching like a TV show, and I was like, why do I have to wait for the dubbed episode? I want to know what's gonna happen like right now. So that's actually the reason why I decided to do this job basically. So yeah, I really think that subtitles should be used more in Italy. It's really important. Yeah.
For let's say the young generation in Italy would be great for them to start to watch YouTube video, let's say in English with Italian subtitles. One, because they will definitely improve their English, and second, because they can also have the perspective of the word from someone not from Italy.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's really nice to kind of give them more opportunities to learn stuff. And also, I don't know about you, but when I was in school and we studied English, we were always writing, so we never got used to the listening and speaking part of it. So, for example, whenever I was abroad and I was listening to the way other people were talking, I was like, that's not the way I learned English at school. Like, what's that kind of language? I was so confused and I couldn't have a proper conversation. So, yeah, I really think that or even subtitling could help young people learn more the language. And yeah.
In my case, I study German from like when I was small. I mean, basically all my school, but I haven't really practiced it. But I studied for like 10 years, and then I moved to Berlin, and I didn't understand anything. I was like, what do I even need to study this subject if I at the end I go in the place that they speak this language and I can't even speak it? So it's a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, I think that even trying with the Italian subtitles at first can help you get used to the accent.
Yeah, I think subtitles really put people together because finally you can understand what other people are saying. So I think they are very, very important.
Okay, so to wrap this up, I've got one last question for you. So, what's next?
Oh, so a lot is happening. So I will move to Thailand at the end of January with Ryan to try the digital nomad life there and record some content for you guys, which which Claudia will create all the subtitles for it. So stay tuned. And then I will come back to Europe to spend the summer, and then probably next winter I will move to South America.
Yeah, so then if you come to Europe, we need to meet somewhere.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have planned actually to come to Italy. You are from Abruzzo,
Marche.
Marche. Okay, I'm not sure if I will arrive down there, but
No, no,
we
it's
can.
fine. We're gonna meet. I'm gonna meet you anywhere. No problem. So, by the way, do you want to say something to kind of end the video?
I would say that subtitles are so important, and by trying them, I realize their potential. And if you want to start to create content, I will say use them as soon as you can because you will literally see the difference without not using and using. Also, not only maybe in like if you publish English content and your main language, don't focus only on those two, but introduce other languages. For instance, if you want to reach more people in Europe, publish video with subtitle in English, Italian, French, German to reach all that part. Like this is why I will probably ask Claudia to create the subtitles as in new languages. So yeah, and I 100% recommend Claudia to create subtitles because she's great. She's always on time, and yeah, I just love your work. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. So guys, that's it for today's video. Go and subscribe to Sarah's channel. She will be posting so many nice content. Subscribe to my channel too if you want to, and I will see you in the next one.